Hello, America. Welcome to episode 2 of Unemployed Redneck. I'm your host, Javon Chandler. Today, we usually hit humorous headlines, but today we're going to switch gears. Because, like I said before, this isn't just a humorous show, we get into serious stuff too. Tragedy has hit the Native American community. Dakota's son, Bear Hills, was shot and killed twice in the chest. Now, the police are saying that not all the evidence is gone through yet. The investigation is still open. But what's surprising to me is the fact that we're getting hit with this right after we got hit with Zachary Bear Hill's tragic death when he was tasered 13 times and beaten in the back of the head 11 times. Now, the Omaha Police Department stated that they didn't have enough training when it came to mental illness. Now that has become a problem for me. So, two points here. One, each week I will be looking at these cases and I will put my opinion, my thoughts on them. I have 13 names here. 13 names of Native American people that have been tragically killed in some kind of way that is not ethical. There are 15 others I am going to be searching for. I will not sleep. I will not rest until I find them. And justice is served to the family. To the family of the Bear Hills, I want to say, you may not know me, but I am sympathetic to your cause. I want to offer my condolences for your great loss. And I want to tell you that Unemployed Redneck will be using each and every resource it can. Now, I would like to turn over to Chester Roma Wolf Rice, and I would like to state before we get deeper into this that the Native American Association has the full support and resources of this show. Whatever y'all need, we will be willing to help. Now, I crunched numbers from last night because I was looking into some unexplained deaths. And I was looking into police violence against Native Americans, and I came up with the fact that 6.2% of Native Americans are more likely to be tased, beaten, or shot to death than any other race. And it's making me wonder, we know the symptoms are basically like heritage killing and everything, but could we say that the cancer could be police departments not wanting to look deeper into this?
Well, I appreciate any effort y'all can put in as far as helping us with investigation and stuff. We have other people that are a part of this that are investigating more into this. We have received multiple different issues regarding around this case of Dakota. The police department has told us one time, from looking at reports and stuff, we're looking at different stories here and there, things that are not adding up. Talking to the family online, getting some information that in the initial reports were false information, and now we're getting the accurate information, and that's what we're trying to do. I passed this on to the Native American Association to put a news blog up. They put the news blog up, and it's gathering some information, some attention, and that's what we're trying to do, is gather enough attention about the killing of Dakota, and to bring awareness to the fact that why isn't there someone behind bars? Mm-hmm. I mean, if Dakota was unarmed and shot, no matter if it was 2 times, 3 times, or whatever, this man was shot and he was unarmed, and you have somebody walking.
Yeah.
Is it because he's Native American, or am I overthinking this? But it seems like to me that our people were a target, mm-hmm. and it's time to put an end to that. If we have to, we'll push buttons, we'll advertise, we'll post, we'll do whatever it takes, even connect with other media sites like your own.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'll work together to expose this, to show that, you know, the police department is just trying to push it under the rug.
Right.
Is it because the shooter's a white boy? Now, I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but if you look at your statistics, our people are a lot higher percentage of being charged with the same crime or something of another person, and we get a lot more heavier sentence than what another person does.
See, this ain't one of them things where we're touching base on race either, because if you look at the numbers are stating that a lot of these killings are heritage killings. Two things that are bugging me, just nipping me in the butt, is one, why is it taking this long for the police department to come up with some kind of solid evidence? It's almost been 2 months. It's been at least a month and a half since this has happened. And nobody's looking into this, and this is wrong. We have to come together as a community and draw a line saying enough is enough. Now, before we get deeper into this, I was wondering, maybe you can let people know more about, you know, who Dakota was, or maybe something like that, so that way they understand what kind of man we're talking about. Now, this man, remember, he was unarmed. He didn't have any weapons on him.
Okay, Dakota Barris Hill Sr. Was born in 1992, okay, which means he was 27 years old. According to a police report, he was unarmed, okay. He is of Native American descent, and his family is really looking for justice. And I ran across this case through a friend on Facebook that said, you know, this family is looking for some kind of some kind of justice. And looking into the story itself made me wonder, okay, why is this guy still walking free, when if it was one of our people that shot somebody that done been locked up?
Mm-hmm.
Without even a chance in hell, they'd been locked up in prison.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but why is this guy running free? That's what the family wants to know, is why isn't somebody charged with murder? And to even look at the police report, it even questions whether they should list it as a homicide. An unarmed man was killed. How does that even become a question whether it was a homicide or not? I mean, that was flat out murder. And why is somebody walking the streets free when it was an obvious case of murder? Now, to my understanding, to a report that I pulled up and some resources that came in with some information they've collected as well. According to my understanding, a police spokesperson even stated that Michael Robert Doobie, 31 years of age, of Sioux Falls, okay, within 15 minutes after the police had arrived on the scene, he calls and turns himself in as the suspect. So he's basically saying, I'm the one that done it. But yet, why isn't he been charged?
So wait, back this up. You're telling me that this man, after he shot this guy, called the police and said, hey, I shot this guy, and the police are overlooking this.
And this is on the police department's report as well, that within 15 minutes, the suspect named himself as a suspect. I mean, so they have somebody openly saying, okay, I did it, but why isn't there murder charges being drawn up? Are they trying to sweep this under the rug? Well, like I said, there is some some controversy, some mixed up information that is being played around here.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been personally online with some of the family members, gathering some information, and I'm finding out some more information than what they're actually reporting on police reports or public health documents.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's some things here that does not add up, and the number one thing that does not add up, and that's the reason why the Native American Association opened up their title regarding this issue, to point out the fact that a Native brother was killed and somebody's walking. It makes no sense. You know, the family, my condolence on behalf of myself and the Native American Association. We offer you a condolence, and I'm sure you as well.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry for the loss of our good brother. I mean, all of us Native Americans must have to stick together. We are family, you know, and because of that, we're not going to let this rest. There's other people out there that are also being targeted from missing women and children that are becoming unsolved mysteries. And I think it's time to start teaming together with other social medias, other groups, and start exposing this, because we got to demand that we receive equal rights as anybody else. And
right. I mean, for those of you that are out there that may be listening from the Native American community that are probably thinking, you know, a lot of these cases nobody wants to look into or whatnot, I am here to tell you, at Unemployed Redneck, we will look into this. We will find the answers, and you will get closure for this if that's the least we can do.
Well, you know, like I said, we are getting a lot of mixed match information. However, we have a lot of people that are volunteering their time to look in on this. Calling, asking questions. I've made some calls. I've got hung up on few things said to me on the phone, but
oh yeah,
you know, I have one thing that I just wanted to point out. On the initial report, they stated that the woman that was in the apartment had her brother came over. Well, correct information was sent in to us, and we wanted to make sure that that was clarified. So the correct information was immediately sent in, and the information update that they provided is info was provided by the family of the victim, Dakota, had stated that Dakota was not related to the woman at the apartments. So we're getting conflicting stories from the state departments, the police departments, health departments, and stuff like that. So we're going to try to piece these puzzles together and get the information, you know, and help this family rest assured that somebody's out there pushing buttons, you know, making news flashes like what we're doing now, getting everybody's attention to the fact that, you know, we're not going to allow this to happen anymore. You know, I mean, there's a movement called Idle No More, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're not idling no more. We're going to speak up. Go ahead.
And you know, I was just going to say that it's getting ridiculous. You know, the more crimes and everything. I was reading something the other day because you mentioned something about the missing women and children. And the rate of missing women that are being killed and trafficked is 3 times. Now remember this. They are 3 times the average rate of a normal citizen. Now, do we really want to say that we are all normal citizens? And why are we isolating certain people inside of a little bubble? You know, this is not how the country is supposed to be run. Now, there is a Native American guy that's running for president, and he made a point as I was watching his announcement speech that I really get behind, and I think you might too. He stated that in the Constitution it says "we the people," but "we the people" unfortunately does not revolve around everybody.
I know who you're talking about. You're talking about Mark Charles. If anybody has any questions about it, they can look him up. Mark Charles 2020. His idea is bring people together as one nation. You know, we the people. That means all of us. And I agree with him. It doesn't mean the 1% of rich white landowning billionaires. It means all of us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, I agree with Mark Charles, and I hope he, even if he doesn't win this one, I hope he runs again in 2024.
Oh yeah, I'll be voting for him. But I mean, I totally agree. We the people should take that constitution, sorry, and we should underline the word that says people. Now, people should be the majority of everybody, not just, you know, like you said, white landowners. But there's something else he pointed out in there. Abraham Lincoln at one time signed the Emancipation Proclamation eliminating slavery, but did we really eliminate it? Because I feel that we had just made it easier. I mean, because if you look at the criminal justice system and the prison system, we just made an easier way. It's like taking a hot dog and just putting the same ketchup on it. That's all it is. You know, and what's really sad is the fact that we look at politics, we look at the elections every single year, and instead of taking a guy like this that actually has values, that actually has a strategy to make America great again, sorry Trump, but you're missing this, we literally take people that may make this country worse and decide they should be president.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's time we should put a Native American in office. Maybe we'll be better off.
A lot of our people kind of look at that, you know, nobody really owns the land.
Mm-hmm.
100 years from now, anybody who's holding a piece of paper says, I have the legal government paper stating I own this land. And 100 years from now, somebody else is going to hold a piece of paper saying the same thing.
Right.
So they don't really own the land. They're just holding a piece of paper by law that says that they get the right to have a piece of land that really wasn't theirs in the first place.
Right.
You know, so who better to run for president office? I mean, we've had a lot of different ethnic backgrounds in that presidential seat. But if you put a Native American in that seat, it's showing our people that America is willing to make up for what has been done. Because a Native American is going to look at this land as our land, not government land, but our land. All of us. And when we say our land, that means we the people. All of us. No matter what color, creed, ethnic group, religion, or anything, it means all of us together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I believe that's going to be the turning key to peace all over the world.
See, another point he made, now this point isn't dealing with Native Americans, but it is dealing with something else that I think should be addressed in this, since we're talking about the Constitution. He made a point that the majority of the Constitution is surrounded by the white male, and there's not a lot in there talking about women. And, you know, I think women should be a part of this Constitution too.
Well, you ever notice that when a woman starts showing any signs of strength,
Mm-hmm.
Like some of these women that were standing up against Donald Trump,
Mm-hmm.
He bashes them,
Mm-hmm.
bashes them, and he'll repeatedly, even on Twitter, bash them, almost as if he's saying women are not good enough. But however, I got a feeling that if we do get a woman as president, she's going to pay a lot more attention to what's going on than what President Trump's doing.
Right, and I think the one problem is we're focusing on the fact that maybe Bernie Sanders could beat Trump, or maybe Mike Bloomberg. But in reality, I think what it is we all need to come together. We all can beat Donald Trump. Let's not leave it on one politician. Let's all do it together, and maybe we can actually get something done to make America great again in our own views. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? I mean,
if we start eliminating the fact that the tax breaks and everything are going to the 1% rich, majority stockholders, the ones who, well, if you look at a dollar bill, it pretty much clearly states, okay, right there on the front of a dollar bill. Okay, it states exactly who their God is. Why else would they put it on the front of a bill, "In God we trust"? It's because to the rich people, this is their God.
mm-hmm.
You can hand them that Bible book all you want and have them read. That means nothing to them as long as they're getting more of this in their accounts.
Mm-hmm.
People together starts looking at it as this is not nearly as important as all of us being together as one good nation.
Right.
I mean, stop the division between us.
Mm-hmm.
Bring us together.
Right. Usually at this show we do final 3 thoughts, but I'm going to cut it down to 2. And I'm going to give my final thought, and then I'm going to ask you to give yours. Okay. Now, for my final thought, it's simple. Like I said, to the family of these victims, and any other victim that is listed on this paper and beyond, I'm with you. I'm behind you, and I will find you some peace. Even if I have to stay up all night, every night, just to find it, I will find you some peace. Now, as a community, we need to stop all the hatred. We need to stop all the bickering and the fighting. We need to come together because we are all one species. We are people. And we need to start focusing more on that. And I would like to extend my hand to the Native American Association. Whatever we can dig up, we will use. Do you have any final thoughts?
My final thoughts is, it's to the family of Dakota. I mean, respectfully, there's a lot of people out there that have lost loved ones. A lot of our people, a lot of Native Americans that are losing somebody and they can't get justice. And as a final thought, let this be a beginning together. We can all work together and demand equal justice and equal rights.
That's our show for today. Tomorrow, on our next episode, we will touch base on more of these names that I have on my list. And just remember, my prayers and thoughts are with you. Good night.